Hey everybody. Welcome to the video where I do whatever I want. And today, I want to talk about something that I don't think many people realize. This thing where parents spend about 18 years raising us. And then slowly but surely, we start raising them. Now, I'm not talking about like we have to send them to a nursing home when they're like 80 or 90 years old. I'm talking about like when we're growing up, our parents teach us things and show us how life works as we get older. And then they end up like kind of plateauing on what they know, and we kind of surpass them and end up having to teach them things. This sounds very confusing, and a lot of you might not be at this point right now, but I promise you there will be a day when you're like, oh, I'm raising you now. And then when you have kids, they'll do the same thing. So let me give you some examples. Let's begin. Now, when you're growing up, you don't know how to read. You're not born with the knowledge to read. And you're not born with the knowledge of what every single word in the world means. So you may be reading, and as a kid, this might have happened to you multiple times. Mom, what's this word mean?
Automatic.
Normal, right? Simple word, you don't know what it means, you ask your mom, she tells you. Or your dad, or your guardian, whoever. And they tell you. Now, when you get older, this tends to happen.
This person says they're shook.
Yeah.
What's that mean? Is it good or bad?
It's good. You end up having to tell your parents what things mean because words change and the definitions of things change, and you end up knowing more than your parents, which is fine, but you end up teaching them. Or something like this would happen when you were a kid. Ma, how do I use this?
You put it on the little lip. Turn. You try.
You can do it. Thank you.
Every time.
And then as you get older, it switches into this.
How do I connect it to her Wi-Fi?
You go to settings.
How come it just doesn't automatically do it?
Well, because you have to sign into it. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with technology. Our parents didn't keep up with it, but we grew up with technology, so we have to end up teaching them. I feel like that's really common. But my favorite part is our parents raised us with morals or whatever, teaching us what's right and what's wrong. Oh, this guy's being a dick.
Rachel, that's rude.
Sorry.
Say that word.
Being a butthead. And then now, as the world has shifted so quickly in the past few years, we are telling our parents what's right and what's wrong.
So I was reading this article about... But
Mom, you can't say that!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't ever say that again!
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, don't say that word. Now, you guys, again, you may not have realized this yet, or you might not be at the point yet where you are starting to teach your parents things. You might be young enough where your parents are still teaching you things, but I promise you, there will be a day when you're like, oh, I'm in charge now. No, my mom and dad are still in charge. Anyway, I thought this was just a fun thing I really wanted to point out. Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Like every time I go home, I'm in charge of helping my mom figure something out. And I noticed it with Matt's parents too. When we went and visited him, they were like, help us with the internet. It's like, okay, and he has to do it. It's just what happens. Our parents raise us, they teach us, they prepare us the best they possibly can for life. And then they do so well that we end up surpassing them. And it's like the old saying, like the student becomes the teacher. And that's what happens. And it's not wrong or anything. I just think it's funny. I love that moment because the parents, when you point it out, they get really mad because they want to be the ones, those like wise, smart people that teach you everything. We're gonna deal with it one day. We're gonna get old enough where we're like, ah, dang it. We need a young whippersnapper to help us. Okay, that's it for today. Just wanted to talk about it. I thought it was funny. I love you guys so much. Please subscribe to see videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday on this channel. Comment below and tell me other things when like the roles reverse, because the parent is the teacher for so long and then it switches and then they become the student or the teacher. I want to know other things that other parts of life where that switch affected it. So please comment below, tell me them. I'd also like to thank my mother for being a trooper and filming this with me. She's actually pretty tech savvy when it comes to like Twitter and Instagram, and she also keeps up with the wordage, although she didn't know what shook was. But I also had to explain what standing was to my father. It was fun filming this. Again, like this video if you liked it, and remember guys, above all else, stay awesome possums.